Hey guys, happy Sunday. This is like a rare treat, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate the investment that you're making in your business. Rarely will you find me allowing myself to go into Plexus land on Sunday. I do believe in taking a Sabbath. I think that God designed the world that way. He did not need a day of rest, which I always, we chuckle at. God didn't need to rest, but he was creating a pattern so that we would follow it. And so very rarely do I go into Plexus land on Sunday. The reason that I allowed for it this time is because this is not the typical work that I would do. Right? This is not how I start my business on Monday. Like the work I'll do tomorrow is different than this. This is like refreshment I hope it will be refreshment for you ladies. I hope it will be kind of a filling up. And so I feel like I'm coming from a place of service today. So that's why the exception. That's why we're here on a Sunday. And then logistics. I have several girls who work full time, and I've been there and I've done that. And I did it for the first 3 years of my business. And sometimes I felt like I didn't get to take advantage of some of the training that I would have wanted. And so I wanted to be able to accommodate everyone, recognizing that it's an investment from everybody. Every one of you had to invest and sacrifice to make this happen. People who work invest to make this happen. That they should be prepping for their week. And those of you who stay at home with your kids, you should be enjoying the whole family unit today. So I get that everybody had to sacrifice to be here, me included. And so I just hope that you'll get the very most out of this. This is the only training, and this is a little more vulnerable than I intended to share, but this is the only training that I have ever actually sat and really prayed over, like that whatever you need to get out of this, you're going to get, and that whatever I'm supposed to say to you, it's going to come out that way. And guys, my desire is not that every single one of you turn away from this and say, okay, I'm making a career in network marketing. My desire is that you will come to some clarity and that you will decide what is for you from this. Hold on one second. One of my leaders that's supposed to be on is messaging me, but I can't listen to it. Sorry about that. I didn't want her to think I was ignoring her. She's probably having a Mayday with the website or with the app, if I had to guess. So that's why we're here. Thanks so much for your time. I'm really super excited. My desire and goal is to keep this to an hour. That's what I prepped my family for. That's what I asked you guys to prep your families for, or what your upline was supposed to ask you for. Hour and 10 minutes. So we're going to just kind of rock and roll. I have notes everywhere, so if you see me flipping and turning, that's what I'm doing. But basically what I want to talk about today is belief. Like there are some foundational things that you're going to be able and have to take hold of if you want to build this, if you want to see where this could take you, this being network marketing, this being Plexus, this being leadership, this being all the things that probably feel very super scary to you. And so it starts with rock solid, unshakable belief. And I have been kind of equating it lately with heaven, the belief in heaven, right? Several of my girls on here have some of the strongest faith of anybody I've ever met. And y'all, they've never set foot in heaven. They've never been there, but you could not shake their belief that that's where they're headed. It wouldn't matter if somebody stood against them. It wouldn't matter if somebody presented all their own evidence. It wouldn't matter. You're not going to shake those girls' belief that that's where they're headed. They know exactly how to get there, and they know that that's where they're going. And not that Plexus and Jesus are the same thing, but the belief element is there. You have to have the same rock solid belief in these products in order for you to be able to withstand this long term. Okay, because obstacles will arise. There will be things that come up, and you're going to have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you're offering people in the way of Plexus is valuable. You're going to have to know that the products are working, that they are rock solid, that they will change people's lives, because if you feel that way, then you will be willing to open your mouth about it. Belief in the products, if you build this with a belief that is unshakable, then you're building your business on bedrock, so that when detox arises, or when you come across a hater on Facebook, hello, when those things come up, you're solid. It's solid. But if you don't take the time to build your belief in these products, if you don't take the time, if you think, oh, well, I mean, that's really not necessary, it's totally fine, and then you keep taking the action, then when problems arise, when detox arises, when you come across a hater, when your best friend who you thought was going to be a jewel with you rejects you, then all of a sudden that foundation is real rocky. It's sand. Okay. And so belief in the products is the number one thing you cannot afford to avoid. You don't get to choose to not invest the time there. And the good news is that if you don't have belief in the products, you can build it. It is something that you can go and find, and you can build and you can create. So you have to have belief in 3 areas to be effective in this business. And the first is belief in the products. Like I said, you have to believe that these products are life-changing. You have to believe that they are effective and that they work. And then you have to believe that they are valuable. It's just a non-negotiable. And how do you know these things? Well, here's how you know. If you go and spend time learning, you will realize that just about every single issue that people struggle with, I'm talking really big issues, autoimmune things, certain types of cancers have been proven, migraines, allergies, weight. Fibromyalgia. I could literally list a billion different diseases and disorders. Guys, they all come back to the same 3 root issues: blood sugar balance, gut health, and inflammation. So if everything comes back to those 3 things, then that means everyone can benefit from our products. Okay? If our products weren't so effective, the opportunity wouldn't be so amazing. But because everyone can benefit from Plexus, this is what makes the opportunity what it is. It is also what sets this opportunity apart from other opportunities, and we'll talk about that. But so let's say someone in your life is struggling with gout. Okay, my father-in-law had gout really bad. And, doctors have some ways to minimize gout flare-ups and things like that. But he never, ever considered the fact that gout was a gut health condition. Okay, I did. I knew it had to do with gut health, and I knew it had to do with inflammation. I had never specifically studied gout, but I studied gut health and inflammation, and I recognized the ripple effect that it had. So I went and Googled gout and inflammation, and I read and I learned. I went and Googled gout and gut health, and I went and learned. And that is what you can do to start to build your belief. If you're curious, why does Plexus help with migraines? Go Google migraines and gut health and begin to learn. When you begin to learn, that will fuel your desire to share with other people. Because so-and-so is going to pop into your brain. Another person is going to pop into your brain. It's kind of like that, the car effect. Like, you're looking at this brand new car. You never see them around town. Like, okay, I'm going to go with that car and in that color. Nobody else has it. And then as soon as you go buy that car in that color, you see 8 other cars in that color because that's what you're looking for. Same thing. If you'll go learn about Plexus, you'll see so many people who have the things that you've been looking for that you won't be able to help but share with them. So learn. If you don't have belief in the products yet, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't either, right? I liked Plexus before I started sharing. I liked it. But I didn't have rock solid, unshakable belief. Sorry, I had to mute somebody. I didn't have rock solid, unshakable belief. I just thought, yeah, that was a cool drink. I liked it. Had no idea why it worked. But you can go and grow that belief. And I think one thing it's really important to point out in the area of belief in Plexus is that marketing isn't just about selling a product, right? It's about finding someone's problem, and I sometimes call it a pain point. If you've ever read Get Over Yourself by Romy, she calls them pain points. And it's about finding out what a person needs and then figuring out how you can be a solution for that. How you can be a service, how you can be a servant. And so that's where when you hear people talk about servant leadership, it's just a matter of finding a need and serving that person. that doesn't make me feel sleazy or slimy or salesy at all. If I didn't really believe I could serve someone and help solve their problem, then I would struggle with feeling salesy or slimy or sleazy. But I know that what I have can help them. And so I recognize that I can go and meet those needs. Guys, listen, if your belief is not rock solid, then when someone comes to you and they are struggling with detox, you're going to get that weird, like, oh, God, what do I do? Like, why didn't it work for them? Instead of seeing it as an opportunity to grow their belief and grow their education because you know it's going to work, right? Think about, again, there's so many correlations between belief in your business and belief in your spiritual life. Like, I have seen people with, like I said, some of the most rock solid faith I've ever known walk through really hard times, really, really hard times, right? Like religious detox, if you will. And if their faith had not been so strong, they literally could have thought, well, maybe this isn't working for me either. But they knew. They had spent so much time filling up that belief cup that they knew. And that's how your belief has to be with the products. You have to know that they work. And if you don't have that belief, you can totally build it. So when you think about, okay, the products will work, fine, got it. Blood sugar balance, gut health, inflammation. As you start to learn those three things, that should excite you to go and talk to people about it. If you feel like when you're going to start sharing, like, I'm not super excited, I don't really know where to start, go learn something about gut health and let that trigger for you who you need to reach out to. You should be excited to say, hey, listen, I don't even know if you're aware of this or not, but this is what I've learned recently. And then that gives you an opportunity to talk. From the excitement of my product, but because I learned about our products, and when I tell you I learned, listen, Fallon made us all take a product. Part of our, thank goodness we've come a long way in our training, but this has been 4 years ago. She made each person take a product and go and research every single ingredient in the product and like come and teach. So mine was BioCleanse. Listen, I can tell you all about BioCleanse and every ingredient in it and what it's going to do for you and how to know if you're deficient in it, everything. Okay. But you know what doing that taught me? It taught me how to do it with the other products. And now listen, I could have said, well, there's so many products, I can't do that. No, I just took one at a time. You know which 3 I started with? I bet you can probably guess. Triplex. I started with the pink drink. I learned what I could about it. And y'all listen, there's so many trainings now done. Jessica Hugendorn. Go find someone smart in Plexus World. Guys, Plexus Worldwide has a fantastic YouTube channel now. But go find someone who's really smart and already done all the research for you and just learn from them. Save yourself the step, if you want, of researching the ingredients. But I loved researching the ingredients because here's why. If I researched the ingredients, then it wasn't me defending Plexus. It was me defending science. It was me defending scientific ingredients so that no one could stand against that. Like, listen, you can't tell me BioCleanse is not necessary. Let me tell you what I know about magnesium. I just took Plexus out of the equation totally. Like, let's talk about magnesium because I had learned about all the benefits of it. And so now all of a sudden, you can't shake my belief that everybody needs BioCleanse, right? And so it's the excitement that stemmed from learning about our products that really did propel me into sharing. Like I said, I had already been on the products for a while, loved them. And it was not until I started to learn the effects of the products that I became excited to share with other people. So rock solid belief in the products, you have to have it. When you think about people's health, right, we have like a health triangle. You've got the side of the triangle, this nutrition. You just cannot neglect the fact that you can't feed yourself 18 Big Macs a day and think that there's any pill that you can take that's going to help you feel and look your best. That's just not truth. Okay, nutrition is important. And so side note, make sure that you're branding yourself in a way that looks like you care about your nutrition. It's okay to have an iced coffee. It's okay to have a donut with your kid on a Sunday, but majority of the time you need to be kind of projecting yourself as though you're a up and coming health expert. And that includes recognizing that nutrition is important. It is as important as supplementation and it is as important as exercise. We are not here telling people, and I'm sure you've seen it on Facebook, 1 pill twice a day, average weight 30 pounds lost. Guys, that is not truth, okay? So we are health experts and we recognize that it's a triangle. Nutrition, it's important. It's also important, however, that you educate them on the fact that they cannot get what they need from diet alone anymore. The soil has been depleted. They've done all kinds of studies on our soil just from a couple of generations span time. Like the amount of nutrients found in the soil during grandpa's time versus what's in the soil during our time, vastly different. So it's your job to educate people. They think they've been taught their whole life, go on a diet, right? How many of us have been on a million diets or watched our mom be on a million diets? Go on a diet, go crazy with cardio, and then you're going to be healthy. They need education. They just simply don't know what you know when it comes to the nutritional side of it. They just don't know that they can't get what they need from diet alone. Obviously, you have your exercise part of the triangle. You have to move your body. God did not design you to sit on the couch. He designed you to be productive. He designed you to work, right? He designed you to move. It's going to look different for everybody. I have friends who love Zumba. I have friends who love to run like bears are chasing them. And then I like to do just kind of in the middle. But it does move your body. God designed your body to move, so move your body. And then obviously the other side of the triangle is supplementation. You guys, it does not matter what train of thought you have or the world has on fitness and nutrition. In every single book about food, there is a chapter dedicated to supplements. Whether it's Trim Healthy Mama, the Maker's Diet, whatever, there's a chapter, at least one chapter, on supplements and why it is so necessary. So I'm telling you, when I tell you that you can know Plexus is here for the long haul, that will never go away. People's need for supplementation will never go away. As a matter of fact, I will tell you it will continue to increase because it will continue to decrease the quality of our soil, right? So supplements, super, super important. And focus on long-term health. That's what I love so much about Plexus is it's not take that one pill twice a day and lose 30 pounds. Anyway. It's long-term health, right? And so that is how you know that you're building a sustainable business, number one. People will want to get healthy and then they will want to stay healthy, right? And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the millennials, well, I'm still a millennial, but the younger generation, they're much more health conscious than we ever were at 18 and 19. So just know we're going to continue to be on the forefront, but your belief in the products have to be there. And the need for Plexus is, we're unlike anything else on the market, anything else. So don't feel like you have to fit into this niche of, I've got to get them really quick results right away, only on weight loss. They will tell you that weight loss is one of their primary concerns because that's what society has told them. If you'll spend time digging out from them, what keeps you from feeling your best every day? Tell me more about that. Tell me about your digestive issues. People don't think of those things as health problems. They have no idea that it's not normal to not go to the bathroom but once a week. They have no clue that that's not normal. When you ask somebody what their health problems are, they're going to think, okay, well, the doctor told me that I have migraines and the doctor told me that I have thyroid problems. They're not going to think of things like low energy. They're not going to think of things like poor sleep. They're not going to think of things such as a low libido. They're not going to think of things, those aren't going to come to mind because when they hear health problem, they think diagnosis, right? And you guys, we all know that the medical field is not necessarily trained in well care. They're trained to take care of the sick. And so when someone asks about their health problems, that's what they think of. So you've got to draw out from them, well, tell me more. Tell me what else. That's how you build the value of the product. Let's see. Another way to grow your belief in the products, read testimonies. You guys, you can even go on Facebook and find some really not compliant but really good testimonies just in the Facebook search bar. If you were to type fibromyalgia and Plexus in Facebook, you would find all kinds of testimonies. Like I said, they're not super compliant, so I wouldn't post them, but read them. If you're not in the Gut Health and Happiness group, send me a private message. I'll add you. That's our team-wide testimony group. It's also open to your prospects, meaning you can add them to that group and go in there and search, I don't know, toe fungus, and you're going to find testimonies from people who struggle with the same thing. So read testimonies. Understand, this is a big one, big one. Understand that what some people consider minor problems will almost always progress to major, more chronic issues. So somebody will tell you, oh, well, I have PCOS, but I have it under control. I'm like, really? Tell me more about that. And she'll start to tell me more about her PCOS journey. Y'all, listen, I am not above telling her, listen, April, do you know that left untreated, PCOS almost always will lead to type 2 diabetes down the road? Did you know that? I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not, but listen, I can show you some people that have really found a ton of help. Understand that most minor issues will lead to something more chronic down the road. That is why I feel a responsibility to share. That is why I feel a responsibility to understand how these products work so that I can meet the needs of those people. Because when they know what I know, they will make the same decision that I make. No one says, yeah, I really love type 2 diabetes. Nobody wants that. They just think it's probably inevitable. Well, it happened to so-and-so. Or they'll tell me diabetes runs in my family. Honey, type 2 diabetes does not run in your family. Type 2 diabetes is the result of the choices that have been made or your lack of intentionality with your body. Okay, now type 1 diabetes, I'm not talking about type 1, I'm talking about type 2. But I'm just saying, understand, minor issues almost always will turn into something more chronic down the road, which is why you have got to have rock solid belief in their products. Because here's the thing, people will come to you and say, okay, well, I feel great now, my energy's good, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my plexus, thanks for your help, bye. And you have to know enough to leave them with doubt and say, listen, April, I'm so glad that plexus helped you with that 5-pound weight loss goal that you have. But remember when we talked about the fact that the reason that you continue to lose and gain the same 5 pounds, yeast, overgrowth, energy, remember that's that yeast we talked about. Do you remember that if you don't get that under control, let me remind you what the next 10 years could look like. Y'all, that's not me being arrogant. That's me trying to help them and help them understand the value of what we have. You're not going to convince me that there's not a need for people to be on our products long term, because they're flat out 100% is. They have got to maintain. People are going to pay for their health one way or the other. I mean, they're going to pay to stay healthy. Most people who are healthy want to stay healthy, right? Most people who are healthy want to stay healthy. Most people will join Plexus, however, to fix a problem that they have. And so you have to take them from the let me fix it to let me fix it and maintain it. Because you guys, whatever broke it in the first place is going to come back and break it again if they don't continue to maintain it. I have somebody that asked me, they're like, how will I know when the yeast is gone? Like, how will I know when Candida is gone and I'm good? I'm like, you won't. It will never go away. It will never go away. That bacteria is in our body for a reason. We have to have it so that we can decompose when we die. That's the honest to God truth. Look it up. So if you don't keep it balanced, it is by default going to become unbalanced. So yeah, you have to be on Plexus long term. These are long-term health supplements. I plan to move my body till the day that I die. I plan to fuel it with decent food until the day that I die. Supplements are no different. So rock solid belief in the products. You just cannot build this without it. You just cannot. So there's tons of training on products. Like I said, if you feel like that's an area that you don't really know where to go, start with Slim. Just start learning. There's a really good video Brittany made about insulin resistance. It's in Pink Power, Plexus Freedom Team. It's called Insulin Resistance, appropriately. But start there. Learn what it looks like to have balanced blood sugar and learn what it looks like when someone does not. Start there. And then just learn something every day about our products. Learn something every day. Maybe it's just one ingredient. Just learn something every day. Don't get so caught up in trying to look at somebody's chapter 22, like, oh my gosh, I could never know what Christina knows. Listen, I could never know what Jessica Hookendorf knows, but I'm going to try every day. I'm going to try every day and learn something else. So it's not a matter of hurry up and learn it all. It's just a matter of hurry up and learn something. So belief in the products. I put it number one for a reason. You just cannot have a success in this business without it. You just can't. Okay, so moving on. The second thing that you have to have rock solid belief in is network marketing. Guys, if saying I'm a network marketer makes you want to throw up, but you're considering a career in network marketing, it's okay. First of all, take a deep breath. It made me feel that way too. Y'all, why would someone choose a career in network marketing? Okay, I have 2 graduate degrees, right? I'm what you would call on paper extremely educated. Who knew? But no, I'm kidding. But why would someone like me choose someone like network marketing? Well, there's lots of reasons. First of all, some of the wealthiest people in the world either own or endorse network marketing. Warren Buffett, Donald Trump. Listen, I don't care how you fall in the political scale, if it's even a scale anymore. It's like more like a trampoline. You cannot argue with the fact that he is economically smart, right? He's billions of dollars. And listen, he was on a talk show many years ago, before all the politics started, and the talk show host asked him, hey, if you were to lose all of your millions of dollars overnight, all of them, and P.S., Donald Trump does not own a network marketing company, nor is he affiliated with any of them. But he asked him, if you lost all of your millions, what would you do tomorrow? And without missing a beat, he said network marketing. And you know what? The crowd laughed at him, like laughed out loud at him. And he sat up there in his smug Donald Trump fashion. And he said, well, that's why I'm sitting up here and you're sitting out there, because I know how to recognize an opportunity and you don't. And I 100% believe him. I 100% know that that is exactly where society is headed. I don't know if you've noticed, but I mean, everybody is going towards this marketing of a model. Guys, listen, if network marketing was a college class, it would be the easiest class. Network marketing is learning a few skills, getting good at them, and then repeating them over and over again. It's not easy, and we're going to talk about that in a little while, but it is definitely not like chemistry, okay? You guys, not only would it be the easiest college class, but it's some of the most highest paid people in the world are here because of network marketing. It is the highest paid profession in the entire world. Now, y'all listen, I don't think that life is all about money, but just about everything that I want in my life requires either money or time, and time is money. So I recognize I cannot live the life that I want or give my kids the life that I want without money, okay? So why network marketing? Well, you get to leverage a huge, big brand name, right? Plexus is a huge brand name at this point. You get to leverage that without having to invent a ding-dong thing. You don't have to come up with a shipping department, a customer service department, a research and design department, nothing. You literally, for $39.95, get all of it. You don't have to figure out returns. You don't have to figure out systems. It's just there. Thank you, Plexus. $39.95. Okay. Your job is to simply tell people. Let's talk about, let's identify terms. You have self-employed people, and then you have business owners. Okay. Self-employed people are going to be the people who work for themselves. Okay. If you, let's say you own a lawn care business. Okay. You're self-employed. You work for yourself. You do get some flexibility. You get to set your own hours. You know, you get to choose who you work with, maybe. So you set your own hours. You own a product or a service, but you don't own a system. Meaning, if you're not doing the product or the service, you are not going to be getting paid. Okay. You don't work, you don't get paid, pretty much. So the difference between that and being a business owner is that a business owner owns a system, meaning they can step away at some point and they're going to continue to still get paid because they own a system. It keeps running without them. So when you start building this, some of you guys are very new on here. Some of you guys have been here for a while. Just for those of you that don't know my story, I'm 4 years in to building this. And when you start building this, you're going to feel like a self-employed person. Like you're the only one responsible for this service or this product, and you're pushing this snowball up the hill. It's going to require lots of hours, lots of energy, lots of work, lots of excitement, lots of prayers if you're a praying person. If you're not, you probably will be before this journey's over. Kind of an inside joke. But listen, when you build it, when you get the snowball to the top and it starts to roll without your help, guys, you don't have to work so hard. Building it will not always be this hard. Cutting grass on my own forever will always be that hard. Teaching will always be that hard. There's not ever going to be a time if I were to walk into a classroom that all of a sudden the snowball's going and I don't have to do anything. The kids are just getting brilliant all by themselves, right? That's not going to happen. But in network marketing, you're building the snowball. That's what all of you are doing right now. There's not a single soul on here, me included, who doesn't have to work hard right now. We're still building, right? If I were building a Chick-fil-A, I would have to show up and build it every single day. That's what you're doing here in network marketing. You're building it. And the idea is, as you start to duplicate, meaning as you start to have people come alongside you, now they're helping push the snowball. Really, they're building their own snowball into your snowball. It's really quite phenomenal. And that's when the snowball is a little easier and a little easier and a little easier, because you're not the only one building the snowball. And we're going to talk about duplication later. So guys, right now you're building. If you don't build it, you will not get paid. If you don't build it, it will not grow. Like, this is not a lottery ticket. And obviously you guys were invited here for a reason. So I don't think any of you expect that it's going to be a lottery ticket. But this is one of those things that if you come in and try it, I'll try this. I'll see if it works for me. Guys, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. A snowball ain't going to roll itself. What do you mean work for you? It ain't going to work for you. You're building it. It's yours. It's not mine. It's not your uplines. It's not your husband's. This is yours, and it will work for whoever builds it. Okay? So obviously social media has changed the way that that we do things, right? So we've gotten the whole why network marketing, leverage the big brand, buying a system. The system's already made. Oh my gosh. Hallelujah. And then social economy. Because of social media. This is why network marketing. Because social media has changed the way that we get to connect with other people. Now listen, network marketing has been around before social media. Okay. Hallelujah. I'm glad I didn't have to build it then. But it can be done. Like, it was done. Think about companies like Mary Kay. Brilliant company, very successful. You know how they got people who built with them? You know how they built? They called people on the phone. They went cold calling to businesses, but they were still limited to who they had access to in their, network or neighborhood, or you had some that were really driven and they would like go out of their areas. But social media has, just quadrupled the reach that you have. You can say something one time and literally hundreds or thousands of people will see what you said. It's brilliant, which is why you see so many companies going towards it. It's really, it's removed geographic boundaries and barriers. I'm talking to people in Australia. I'm talking to people in Mexico. It's literally removed it. So right now, those of you who got on this call and said, man, she must be lucky for her. Too bad my network is too small. Too bad I live in a one red light town. Too bad I this or I that. You have access to 300 million people with social media. Now, do you have to love it? Nope. Do you have to learn it? I'm here to tell you it can be built without social media, but you have a responsibility to learn some of it, because whoever joins you they deserve a leader who knows a little bit about social media. Because even if you don't use it as your primary way to build, your team will. If I think of the leaders on my team, there's one who prefers more, chest to chest than the others, but the majority of them use social media. And even my chest to chest girl, she's on here. She is learning social media because she's recognizing her team is. So you can connect with people in a matter of seconds. You can build rapport with them in a matter of days. And all of a sudden, Renee said it to me. It is Renee. But you can connect with people quickly, as opposed to hoping you run into Sally next week at the grocery store again. Like, your access to connecting and building a rapport with them is very, very quickly. It speeds up the process. And you guys, for those of you who feel like, oh, I can't rush a relationship, newsflash, we live in a microwave society. People are okay with getting to know you quickly because they have a million things to do too. So they're okay with, hey, listen, what's up? Tell me what you got. Let me see if it's for me. Perfect. Like, this is a society where gone are the days of Little House on the Prairie, right? So social media, definitely a big advantage. Another reason for why network marketing, you guys, again, you have to have rock solid belief in network marketing, because if you ever hope to duplicate, you're going to have to be able to share that belief in network marketing. Okay, so why else network marketing? Low startup. Hello. Return on investment. I got to take this jacket off. I'm getting all fired up. A return on your investment. Plexus, $39.95. There are other network marketing companies that require thousands of dollars in investments, and some of them are good companies. So I'm not saying anything against them, but obviously we are with Plexus for a reason. And one reason is the return on the investment. I paid $39.95 to get started, and I have made a return on that investment thousands of times over. Thousands of times. There is nothing else that you can do that will cost you $39.95 and give you the ready-made systems that Plexus has. Nothing. And so when I'm talking to someone who desperately needs an opportunity, these are the things I'm saying to them, right? You have no inventory. Thank the Lord. Listen, I love my girls that send me my mascara, but I am so glad I don't have to go to the post office. I would never get to the post office. I have stuff in my trunk from Christmas that I hadn't mailed yet. I guess they're going to get it for next Christmas. I don't know. So no overhead. I mean, listen, you know what overhead you have in the Plexus world? Your annual membership, $39.95. That's your overhead. Show me a business where you can make six figures and all I am spending is $39.95 a year. Now I buy products, I'm consuming products that I would be buying regardless. I'm going to be buying supplements because you know why? I have rock solid belief in the need for them. We talked about that a second ago. So the products I don't even consider an overhead. I have to have them. My body demands it. Let's see. So let's talk about the difference in expenses between a network marketing business and a brick and mortar business. Obviously, if you're a brick and mortar business, you're going to have lights and probably rent. It would take you several years to be able to pay off whatever debt you incurred to start this brick and mortar business. Then not to mention just how you keep a storefront operating, just those overhead expenses, inventory, cleaning, stuff like that. Now, I do think you should invest in your business, but I don't consider it an expense. Like convention, I think you should be at convention. If you're building this, convention should be something that's on your brain, okay? It's an expense. I mean, it's an investment, not an expense. You know what the difference is? An investment, you get a return on. An expense is something that you're just required to pay. So when you make an investment in your business, such as Ruby Retreat or convention or a training course, y'all, I have spent hundreds of dollars on a training course before. You know why? Because I know I'm going to get more out of it than I put into it. So that is an investment. And I think that you should make investments in your business, obviously. Again, I can't even be a teacher without having to invest in my teaching. I have to take, you know, those courses every year to stay relevant. Same thing I know with speech therapists. Same thing with just about any service providing occupation. You have to continue to invest in what you're doing. So invest in your business if you're building this. Why network marketing? Again, simple set of skills that anyone, listen to me, anyone can learn. Now, not everyone will. And other people will have a harder time than some. And it really comes down to how you spent the last 5 years of your life. That's not even on my notes yet. It's coming later. But what I want to say is when I say everyone can do this, I really believe anyone can. I believe your success out the gate will be vastly to do with how you spent the last 5 years. Did you spend the last 5 years investing in other people and adding value to them and building influence with them? Then you probably will have a little bit of an easier start. Did you spend the last 5 years kind of being a taker? Or maybe not even a taker, but you guys listen, if you're not intentionally adding value to people, then by default, you usually are taking. So it's not a negative thing. It's just something to be aware of. So if you notice that, oh my gosh, my success right out the gate's not what I wanted, it's okay. You can change it. But anybody can learn these skills is what I'm getting to. Anybody can learn these skills and get good at them and then earn total financial freedom. If that doesn't just blow your flipping mind, you did not hear me. You can learn a few skills and then earn financial freedom. Do you know how many skills I had to learn to be a teacher? And then be a master certified teacher? And then be a specialist certified teacher? A whole lot of dang skills. Do you know what the likelihood was I was ever going to earn financial freedom? A big fat zero. None. Was not ever going to happen. Anybody, whether they are poor, whether they have bad luck, whether they have had really bad situations in the past, whether they are the sweetest thing ever, whether they, whatever. Anybody can set their mind on this and earn total financial freedom. And if you don't believe me, let me hit you with a stat. Do you know, industry-wide, 95%, which is almost a 100% guarantee, you guys, 95% of people who will do this, who will do consistent activity in their business, within 10 years will be at the top level of their company. That's almost a 100% guarantee that if you will just hang out with me, within the next decade, you could be making $30,000 to $40,000 a month. If that does not get you excited, check your pulse, because I'm here to tell you, it would not matter if I taught for 500 years, I was never going to make $30,000 a month. And I'm telling you, industry-wide, it's almost a guarantee. If you will just do daily activity. And some people will get there very quickly. Average time to diamond and plexus is about 4 years. I'm obviously not average. Just kidding. I just have some things to learn still, right? Average is 4 years, but I'm 100% okay with the fact that if it takes me 6 more years to make $40,000 a month, which is what our average diamond makes, I'm okay with that. Because you know what I'm going to earn between now and $40,000 a month? $10,000 a month, $12,000 a month, $15,000 a month, $20,000 a month. I can get down with that for the next several years. So I'm just saying anybody can have that, which is why I want to like shake people when they don't do this with me. I'm like, read a book. Read a flippin' book. That is not in my notes either. You guys listen, and I tell this teacher story all the time. I loved teaching, and I was really good at it. It's not very often that I would toot my own horn, but I was really good at teaching. And I really thought I would do it forever. I really am learning more and more that I am still doing it. This is who I am. I am a teacher. But I found out very quickly that it did not matter how hard I taught, or how early I showed up, or how late I stayed, or how creative my lesson plans were. I was capped at how much money I could make. Now, it would go up by $1,000 a year, or, you know, the county I work in, they were very generous. When I left the classroom, I was making about $60,000 a year. And for a teacher, that's pretty good. But that was the end. There was no save for Christmas vacation or Christmas gifts, or I'll teach harder and we'll go on a cool vacation next year. Like, that was just what I made. And so that our lives were kind of bound by that, right? Again, money does not buy happiness, but a lot of the things I want to do with my family requires money. And if there's not extra, then there's not extra experience. So there's an income cap in most jobs. Most jobs, there's an income cap. Even medical professionals, unless they're in their own practice, they're capped out. I have a really good friend who's a radiologist. And I mean, he makes what the hospital says he can make, right? So network marketing, no income cap. You can even pass the person who recruited you. You literally get paid in direct proportion to the amount of value you add to the company. Let me say that again. You get paid in direct proportion to the amount of value that you add to the company. So it's not how much product I can sell necessarily, it's how many people can I help be successful within the company. You get paid in direct proportion to that. You help people reach their goals, you by default will reach yours. So that, I mean, that just, if that hope, it's hope for people, you guys. The hope of financial freedom should be enough to get your hiney out of bed and have you telling them about it. When they join you, they get a referral link. Don't craft a story in your brain about why they wouldn't need it or why they couldn't benefit. Oh, they have plenty of money. Or, oh, she's so busy. Don't craft that story, because you have hope to offer people. Do you know they did a study that said $500 extra a month could save a vast majority of marriages and a vast majority of foreclosures? Do you know that the average silver makes $400 a month with Plexus? So I'm not talking about somebody who has to say, I want to go all in and be a diamond. You have hope to offer somebody who is happy with their plan A and they just want a little extra with plan B. You have hope to offer them. Okay. Why else network marketing? How are we doing on time? Okay. Recognition. Hello. Think about the last time you were recognized or appreciated. If you work outside of the home, think about that. If you work in the home, I love my husband and my kids, but I mean, my daughter doesn't come to me and say, thanks for making sure I had clean panties, right? I had to run around like a crazy person today because my son forgot his jersey across town and he did not realize it until we were going to the soccer game. Now, he was glad I didn't kill him, but I don't think he ever thought to say, Mom, thank you for the gas, and thank you for not punching me in the face, and thank you for all these things. Like, just recognition is not usually someone's top priority. It should be. We really should do better as a society, but it doesn't usually happen. I mean, my principal loved me. She was great to me, but there wasn't like prizes and rewards for just showing up and doing your job. And with Plexus, it's everywhere. Recognition is everywhere. They're always giving us incentives. I mean, I can think of things that people on my team have won, not just me. You don't have to be a leader to win it. AirPods. Raise your hand if you won AirPods. How many of y'all won AirPods? Yep, lots of them. Watches. Lots of people won watches. Cruises. Lots of y'all have won cruises. Leaders retreat trips. Lots of y'all have won that. Ruby retreat trips. Certificates in the mail, necklaces, bracelets. If you're brand new, all these things are coming for you. Recognition abounds. Every week they're putting out leaderboard stuff. I mean, just so generous. That's why network marketing. Show me another company. Show me another industry that loves on their people. And you guys, they love on us because they recognize their success is dependent upon our success. And so morale is important, right? Y'all, fun, obviously, tons of fun. I almost didn't even put this on the list because hopefully you guys know that we're fun. The culture that our team has, for instance, is the reason that Emily Haas, who is not on my downline, is on this call. The culture that we have, we are one unit together. Fun. I'm talking about fun. There is always somebody that will pick you up. I have several girls on here who have sideline friends that are not on my team either, and they run together. Emily and I run together. Michelle Stuchel and I, we run together. And that's what you have here, the culture. And guys, there's lots of work from home opportunities, but one thing that misses the mark is the culture. People feel like they're just stuck at home all day long and they have no culture. They have no people. We have the best of both worlds here. So the culture that we have, I mean, we pray for each other. We cry when the other one's hurt. I mean, we've sent money just whatever. It's just a big family. It's almost like a church small group. Like these are our people, and there is very little that I would not do for them. Like very little. Like share my husband little. Like I just wouldn't share him. Just about anything else would be fair game. Like I would just do anything in the world for them. And that is something that you guys, more women in your life than you know, miss that. More women in your life need that. That is what attracted Renee to this. That's what she just said, my favorite. That is what got Renee here. Renee had no interest in sharing. None. She loved people. So she learned about the products, and then she's like, oh crap, I gotta tell so-and-so now. That's literally her attitude. She was like, crap, now I have to share. And then she got here and was like, well, I'm never going away. So what I gotta do to be here, you know? So just the people, encouragement, all of that good stuff. Obviously our comp plan, and I said this earlier, you're gonna get paid in direct proportion to the value that you bring to the company. You guys, everybody is selling something. Everybody, whether they know it or not. If you go interview for a job, you're selling yourself. If you go to the movies and watch Frozen and then you go post a cute story, you've just sold Frozen. I go watch it, you made not a dime. Everybody's selling something. Not everybody gets paid for it, but we do. We get paid very, very generously. Why else network marketing? Guys, there is no other industry in the world that you can take a 30-year career and condense it into 3 to 5. 3 to 5. Why is that important? Well, number one, it's hope. I have a friend on this call right now. I love her dearly. I don't think she would mind me sharing. I won't tell you her name, but she woke up one day and realized she was in her 50s. Her kids were grown and they had zero retirement money. She had spent her whole life taking care of her kids that she woke up and said, holy crap, we have no retirement. They're entrepreneurs. They own a very successful business. They don't own a system. They own a business. And so she recognized that when we stop working, oh no. But you know what this offered her? Hope. Listen, girl, 3 to 5 years, we can take care of that retirement problem. She didn't have time to go start another 30-year career and hope to build retirement. But she had time to do this. So you have hope to offer people. So yeah, stats prove. I mean, listen, we talked about this too. IPA for 10 years, 95% of you will be at the top of the company. That is 95 women out of 100 that will be at the top. And I almost can guarantee you that other 5%, they're a rank below the top. They would be a sapphire. Darn, hard life, you know? Most people will work for 40 years and never make it. They'll never make it to freedom. They'll make it to comfort, maybe. But even then, I would challenge, is it really your comfort or is it what you've settled for? I don't know. Most people quit dreaming. Most people quit dreaming. Their dreams are held within the constraints of their finances, really, finances and time. If I think about the things when I ask people, like, listen, if your calendar were empty and your bank account was full, how would you spend your time? They really have a hard time because they've stopped dreaming. Our dreams have to fit within the constraints of our budget and our time. And when you take those constraints away, people find it very hard. But that's the hope that you can offer to somebody. All right, network marketing. Last thing before I move on. It allows you to choose a dream life over a dream job. And I promise you, whatever would attract you to a dream job, we can provide. You can find that here. All right, rock solid belief in network marketing. Guys, people cannot catch your vision if you do not have your vision. So get it. Figure it out. All right, the last thing that you have to have rock solid belief in. Man, we got to go fast. Okay, belief in yourself. It's number 3, but it is a top priority. Guys, 80% of this business is between your ears, which means only 20% are skills. That should be a humongous relief, because most of the time people ask me, what do I have to learn to do this? Well, I'm lucky for you, just 20%. There's 4 pillars you have to learn and master. I'm going to get there in a second. But 80% of this is within your ears. You have to believe that you have what it takes. And you have to be aware that what you lack, you can get. If someone else has gone and done this before you, it simply means they know something you don't know yet. That's all it means. They know something you don't know yet. So head trash, we all have it. We all have things like not worthy, not qualified, not capable. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough skill. I don't have enough network. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. If I had what she had, if I joined that team, that's head trash. That's crap. It's just not true. So maybe that's you. Maybe those are the things that run through your brain. You're like, man, I really want to do this. Like, this seems fun. These girls are cute and they're nice, but all the things, guys, a book that will change your life. I don't even say that lightly, like your life. Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. She's a Christian Scientist. She will basically kind of take scripture and show you how your thoughts, you can choose. You can choose your thoughts. You could choose to have a piss poor attitude, or you can choose to be optimistic. You can choose to be excited, or you can choose to be overwhelmed. You can choose to be frustrated, or you can choose to be a go-getter. You can choose your thoughts. Guys, listen, do not miss this. This is the most important sentence I will say all day. Your thoughts will determine your belief, and your beliefs will determine your action. So people who say, I tried that and it didn't work for me, their actions were impacted by their beliefs, which were impacted by their thoughts. If you think you can or can't, you are right. Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. Your thoughts will determine your beliefs. Your beliefs will determine your action, and you cannot go out of order. You will never outperform the quality of your thoughts. Ever. It's why it's everywhere in scripture. God knew. He knew that head trash was going to be our number 1 enemy. And it's not from him. So what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? You have a responsibility to choose your thoughts. You have a responsibility to your spouse if you have one. You have a responsibility to your kids. You have a responsibility to your team and your future team. Do not wait to get ready. Be ready, right? So what are you telling yourself? You will be tomorrow what you are thinking about today. You cannot get away from it. You cannot outperform the quality of your thoughts. And no one can help you with that but you. Brittany always tells the story of the woman that was bleeding, right? In the Bible, she was bleeding. No one can help her. And so she knew that Jesus was coming to town. And she said, if I could just touch his garment, I'll be healed. If I can just touch his garment, I'll be healed. So she didn't think, well, man, I can never get through the thousands of people that are around Jesus, because wherever Jesus was going at that time, there was a crowd. right? She didn't think I could never get through them. It's going to be really hard. Why would Jesus heal me over everyone else? Oh, I can't do that. She did not think those things. That's head trash. Those are excuses that other people would have thought, right? She did not think that. So she gets through the crowd. She touches the hem of his garment. Jesus felt her. He felt the power leave him, and he said, "Who touched me?" And she said, "Me." And he said, "Woman," which back then meant my lady, "your belief has healed you." But guys, listen, it wasn't her faith that healed her. It was her faith, her belief that propelled her to action that healed her. It wasn't her faith that healed her. It was her faith that propelled her to action that healed her. Your thoughts will determine your belief, your faith, and it will determine your action. So what are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself everyone needs this? Everyone needs what I have. I have something so valuable. Everybody needs an opportunity and I can help them. Are you telling yourself everybody wants to join me? I'm the fastest growing team in Plexus. I'm not, but guess what I used to say? I'm the fastest growing team in Plexus. Guys, we were number 6 on the leaders board out of 800,000. Y'all were. Because it was not a who enrolled the most people. It was whose team was the biggest. That's y'all. It wasn't me. But I believed that y'all were coming. I am not even kidding. It makes me sound a little bit crazy to think that, or to say that out loud. But I believed it. And y'all listen, I believe there are more coming. I know, because I know what I have is valuable. I know it. And my belief, my thought, I'm the fastest growing team in Plexus. I'm a leader. I have something valuable to say. Those are what I prayed over this meeting today. I'm a leader. God, let me be a leader. I have valuable things to say. I can help someone. I can offer hope. Those thoughts allowed me to have a belief that I could serve you guys. I invited you here, and then it propelled me to action. Here we are. Guys, thoughts are not neutral. I know we're at time, but I got more things to say. Thoughts are not neutral. It's very unlikely that you're going to have a neutral thought other than like, I need to pee. Like that's neutral. But most thoughts are positive or negative, no matter how you slice it. So if you are feeding the good stuff in your brain, you're going to be starving the other stuff. And we've already talked about this on the team call last week. If you did not watch the team call last week, message me privately. I will send you the link, because I'm telling you, the fear won't go away. If you're waiting to wake up and not feel fearful, that's not going to happen. Okay? And newsflash, the more success you find in this, the fear is still there. It's a different fear. But you feed the faith. Starve the fear. Think about a baby learning to walk, right? The baby doesn't fall down and say, well, crap, I guess walking's not for me. No, the baby gets up and it walks again, and it falls again, and it gets up and it walks again, and it falls again. Failing forward is what we are doing in this business. Y'all, the girls on my team that have been here with me for a long time can tell you I fall on my face often. I'm an activator, so I tend to take action quickly, like reserving a convention house before the last convention ends. Love y'all. They were really aggravated with me about that. But I just fell forward. I just learned. Just try some things. Reflect. Learn. Try some things. There's not ever going to be a time that I think this must not be for me. And you guys, my journey was not always leaderboard worthy. My journey was not always, y'all, I sat at a rank for over 2 years and dropped all the way down and had to rebuild. Okay, so my leader, it's not always been what most of you think it is right now. There is struggle in the journey. Emily knows. She was here the whole time with me. There's struggle in the journey, but you know what? Feed the mindset. Fail forward. The only way you can fail, the only way that you can let someone down is if you quit on them. And guys, I'm telling you, I would rather take 400,000 years to get somewhere than ever be a quitter. I'm telling you, I have a whole other opinion on quitting, but just don't quit. If you decide to do this, you just don't quit. I'm not going to quit on my kids. I'm not going to quit on my marriage. I'm not going to quit on my business. Just flat out don't quit. I already told you the statistic said 10 years, you'll be there. There is no success without failure. If others are being successful, you can too. And you guys, mindset right here, where we're camped out right here, this is where most people get stuck. It's not in the whole, I just can't figure out how to recruit. It's not skill set. Most people can figure out the skill set. It's mindset. This is where they get stuck. This is either where you will show up and go up, or you will walk away and be a quitter. If you're not fueling your mind and getting it right, I'm telling you, you need to do it. Stay off the emotional roller coaster. It's not about you. If somebody joins you and gets great results, it's not about you. If somebody joins you and quits your team, it's not about you. Stay off the emotional roller coaster. Know that you have something valuable. Do everything that you can to love and support that, and stay off the emotional roller coaster. Trust the process. Trust the process. There are hurdles in every single area of life, but it's worth it. Parenting is hard, but I don't just choose to not. It's hard, but it's worth it, right? That's how this will be. And the foundation of this is belief. The foundation of this is belief. Belief in those three areas. You just cannot be successful and stay successful without it. Okay, so that is the foundation, belief. Now, the fuel for your business is your why. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time here, but that question that I asked yourself, or that I told you to ask yourself, what would you do if your calendar was empty and your bank account was full? How would you spend your life? How would your husband spend his time? Where would you go? Who would you see? Who would you bless? What would you do? It has to be bigger than yourself, and it has to be really big. Really big, okay? You cannot skip this, because it's going to be what gets you out of the bed, or what allows you to send the message after the rejection message, right? People ask me all the time, they're like, you have such a high no tolerance. Someone can tell you no and it doesn't bother you. You know why? Because I have such a big why. Big. And my whole family's on board. And we know where we're going. We know what's going to happen when we get there, and we know what kind of an impact we're going to make. Guys, I think God's people should have a lot of money. You know why? Because with a lot of money comes a lot of good. A big why. Let yourself go there in your brain and know that it is possible. Most people let life happen to them. We're going to be proactive. More people spend their time planning their dadgum vacation than they do planning their life. Seems backwards. We're going to plan our life, right? We're going to dream big, and then we're going to go for it, because your thoughts determine your beliefs, which determine your actions. So if you're thinking and believing that you can and have and will, then your actions will line up with it. So yeah, if you were making $30,000 a month, what kind of a blessing could you be? And some of you right now are like scoffing in your head, like, oh my God, $30,000 a month. It's possible. Research has said you'll get there if you don't quit. So who are you going to bless? How are you going to bless them? What are you going to do? You have to nail it down. You cannot skip it. And guys, you have to give this time to grow. You have to give it time to grow. You've got to learn skills. You've got to get good at it. You've got to put in the work. Y'all, this is a simple business, but it is not easy. There will be blood, not blood. There shouldn't be blood. There will be sweat and tears and laughter and more tears and never any blood, hopefully. But you got to give it time to grow. You got to put in the work. And you can't compare. Let me caution you guys, don't compare. Don't look at someone's chapter 22 when you're on chapter 2. Right? If someone had given me a newborn and said, how are you going to parent her when she's 16? I probably would have thrown up. That's what I'm saying when I say don't compare chapters. You're here. Wherever you're here this is where you are. And there's a reason that you are in this part of the journey. If there is struggle in your journey, there is something you have to learn. And I can only say that from 100% personal experience. So you have to give it time to grow. There will be hurdles, but it'll be worth it. You guys, most people, for those of you who are brand new, or for those of you who are going to be sharing this with the team, most people can go silver within the first 30 days. Not everyone can. Most can. If you don't, is that indicative of your long-term success? No. Raise your hand if you know Sarah Marble. She's a diamond. A nurse, diamond. She's one of my favorites. She has the best eyebrows in plexus, by the way. It took her 7 months to go silver, and she's a freaking diamond. So it's not indicative of your long-term success. Most can go in 30 days. There's your average. Average time to gold is about 5 months. Some do it much quicker. Some do it much slower. So just know, don't compare. Focus on what you can control. That's what I tell my girls all the time. What can you control today? You can't control someone saying yes or no to your products. You cannot. You can control your actions. Tell me what you can control today. All right, so the fuel, so your foundation for your business is belief. The fuel for your business is your why. The fruition of your business is your action. And then we're closing up with this, you guys. Consistency is where it's at. You cannot build this, listen to me, working this sometimes. You cannot. Now, you don't have to work this as much as I do, obviously. You can work part-time, but you cannot work sometimes, right? Anybody can build this, but not everybody will, because it takes intentionality and it takes consistency. If you work this like a hobby, maybe I'll try it, maybe it'll work for me. I'll work this today and then not, and then next week I'm back in and then not. That's a hobby, something that you kind of enjoy. It'll pay you like something you kind of enjoy. If you work this like a business, it will pay you like a business. And there are girls in here who will tell you it has replaced their income. So you cannot, you cannot work sometimes. If you're going to build this, it has to be a non-negotiable that I'm doing this, not I was going to work my business today, but then my best friend wanted to go to lunch. That happens to me all the time. I'm a stay-at-home mom now. And so people think I just can like do whatever I want. They don't realize I have routines and structure and systems and plans and, business. And so they'll call up and they just think I can go. And listen, I can fall into the trap of thinking the same thing unless I have myself under the understanding that this is a non-negotiable. I have to work this like a business so that I can get the rewards of a business. And you guys, let me tell you, you don't need more time. You don't need more time. You have the right amount of time to do whatever you need that God has put in your life. You do not need more time. You need more intentionality. You need to be more intentional with what you are filling that time with. And you say, oh, Christina, you don't understand. I got this going on and that going on and I work full time. I do understand. I have lived pretty much whatever life you're living. I've never had to live with a deployed spouse, so I'll take that back. So I've never had to do the single mom. And my husband travels for like a week at a time, but that's the only thing I've not lived through. But you know what? I can tell you some diamonds who have. Bet. So you do not need more time. You need more intentionality. You need to decide what you want. Thoughts, beliefs, actions. Okay? So you have to be consistent. Consistency has a compound effect, meaning 2 + 2 + 2 won't always equal 6. If you stay consistent over time, 2 + 2 + 2 will eventually equal thousands. Okay? And guys, consistency in your business, regardless of how you feel, regardless of if you're PMSing, regardless of if your husband made you upset, this is a business. I couldn't call the principal and say, I can't come to school today because I just don't feel like it. I feel overwhelmed with my life. Now, I understand sometimes you need a mental health day. First of all, I take mine on Sundays, but you just have to be consistent. It's just the bottom line. You just have to be consistent. I already told you guys, when you hear me say work every day, I don't work on Sundays, generally speaking. This is hangout time with my besties. But so I'm talking 6 days a week, okay? 5 if you're really busting it, but 6 generally because #life. So yeah, action. What's going to come to fruition in your business? Your action, consistency. There are 4 pillars you must master, and then I promise we're done. Recruiting. You cannot be successful in network marketing if you do not know how to help people get started on your products. That's not just Plexus, that's everywhere. If you sell eyelashes and you don't know how to share eyelashes, then no one's going to join you. You must know how to recruit. There are tons of training videos on how to recruit, and they're really good. Some of them I even made. So go learn how to recruit, how to reach out, how to follow up, how to share your products in a way that is genuine and loving. You must learn how to recruit. Because the other 3 pillars you cannot do if you have not recruited. You cannot retain what you don't recruit. You cannot duplicate what you don't recruit, and you cannot lead what you don't recruit. You must learn how to recruit. Okay? You must learn how to retain your people. Retain just means help them love their products. Keep the people that you have. And there are lots of ways to do that. You want to help them fall in love with their products. They have to get good results. And so again, that goes back to the belief in the products, setting realistic expectations for your people. Do not oversell Plexus. There is no need to. If someone's looking for quick weight loss, send them to It Works. I don't even know. That's a joke. Don't send them anywhere. But I'm saying, don't tell them that's what you're getting. They're not getting that with us. No, ma'am. Let me tell you what we can offer you. And let me tell you how I know instant weight loss is not really what you're after. Because you've been losing that same 20 pounds your whole life. Your whole life. So if whatever you were doing was working, you wouldn't keep losing that 20 pounds. So help them love their products. Guys, Perks Reports. It's a brand new program we have which gives people perks, free product money just for ordering every month. If you're not checking the Perks Report every single day in back office, start. First priority in your business, keep who you have. If you don't have anybody on your products yet, you get a break. Everybody else, if you have one soul on your team, your first priority every day is to help retain that person, help build belief, help educate, help love on them, become their friend, whatever. Take care of your people. At the top of Plexus Freedom Team under announcements, there's something called like customer care or retaining your customers or whatever. It's a 10-step system, 10 touches in the first 30 days. It is literally scripted out for you in there. It'll tell you on day 4, say this to Sally. On day 7, say this to Sally. So in your planner, if so-and-so joins you, then you're going to write Sally day 1, Sally day 7, Sally, and you're going to write that in here. So on those days, you can go into the notes section on your phone where you copied and pasted the retention system, and then you can copy day 5 out of there and send it to Sally on day 5. That's your job, to provide stellar customer service, because you're one product lover away from having created a runner on your team. When someone loves the products, they're not going to keep it to themselves, no matter how many times they tell you, I'm not going to share. Help people love their products. Okay, duplication. Duplication. That just means inspiring people to do what you're doing. And it's so interesting to me when people say, nobody wants to do this with me. Guys, there's some reason you decided to do this. So when they know whatever it was that you knew, they eventually will make the same choice. But listen, it's a process. Brittany had to follow up with me about the business for an entire year, and I was already on the products. A whole year of me saying no, ignoring her. I mean, just an entire year. If she had stopped trying to duplicate, if she had stopped trying to cast vision for me, she would not have a jewel on her team yet. So it's a process of understanding it takes most people 8 to 12 times before they're ready to make a decision with you, whether that's the products or the opportunity. So don't quit casting vision. Share the opportunity with every single person, and you're going to have to call out their potential, because they won't be able to fathom themselves doing this. They won't be able to think of themselves doing what you do. So you're going to have to call that out for them. It's okay to lead with the products, you guys. I think that's probably the easiest way to get people to join your team. Share the products with people, but don't stay there. Every single person who joins your team gets a referral link. Share with them the opportunity. I say, hey, listen, my first 3 people that joined me were my best friend, my aunt, and a coworker. Like, who comes to mind for you that needs that? Like, anybody that struggles with thyroid problems or energy, just kind of cast some vision in a way that's loving and very easy. Like, just simple. Hey, who comes to mind? And letting them know they have that referral link. And then the last thing, obviously, is leadership. Being able to teach them the simple systems that we already have in place. And then casting vision and belief for people. You will have to cast vision for people until the day that you die if you decide to build this. Most of the time, leadership comes from helping people deal with that 80% that we talked about. It's very rare I get on the phone with one of my leaders and I have to teach them a skill. It is almost always I have to help them work through the head stuff. I have to help remind them of their potential. I have to help remind them of where they're going. I have to call out their strengths, right? So leadership a lot of the times is dealing and helping with that head trash. But guys, you can't lead what you don't duplicate. You can't duplicate what you're not retaining, and you can't retain, duplicate, or lead what you're not recruiting. So you've got to learn those skills. Like I said, it is very simple. It's not easy. You're not going to accidentally wake up and know how to recruit. You have to fail forward. It's scary for everybody the first time, and we all stink at it. Do it anyway. Because you know what? You'll stink at it less the second time. And by the 100th time, you'll feel even better, and even better, and even better. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys. We're a little over on time. Thanks for being gracious with me. You guys, questions help me to know what you need. Questions help me put out training that is relevant for you. If you guys have questions, feel free to unmute and ask. If it's something that needs to be addressed privately, let me know. Obviously, no negativity or product troubleshooting right now. But anything that's valuable for the group, I'm glad to answer. The name of the book that I recommend for mindset, it's called Switch On Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. Switch On Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. I can't see any of the other questions in the chat. So if there's questions in there, type them again. Another one that I think is great to start with if you're brand new is Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. She's phenomenal. Love her. If you've read that one and you still need something else, there's a book called by Romy called Get Over Your Blankety Blank Self. Has a cuss word in the title, but it's really good. It's probably the most solid network marketing book I've ever read. Like, she gives you specifics. It's fantastic. Any other questions? Brittany always makes me sit here and make the silences really long and awkward. All right. If that is all, thanks for getting on there, you guys. Those of you, like I said, who want to redeliver this at some point, let me know. But I hope it's helpful, you guys. Listen, I believe any of you that are on this call, if you just invested an hour and 20 minutes listening to me run my mouth, you can do this. You can be me. You can have what I have. If you think that you want what I have, come get it. I will show you everything that it takes to get there. You just have to decide that that's what you want. Your thoughts will determine your beliefs, and your beliefs will determine your actions. Bye, guys. Love y'all. See ya.